We're at the doctor's appointments. I'm like super nervous for the microblading later. Like I'm really nervous. Like what if I hate it and I like cry? I don't know. But not having to fill my brows is going to be pretty exciting. Or at least not as much. I don't know. So I'm here, about to get my eyebrows microbladed. And I'm at my hair salon, Luxe The Colour Lounge. This is where I get my facials done, and now microblading with the famous Patricia. So step one is numbing, so that's what I'm gonna do first. I'm gonna put a lot of this cream then. So we're taking my medical history. So now we wipe off the numbing cream and see if I'm numb. This is roughly what my new eyebrows are gonna look like. Okay, don't freak out. They're like super dark and they're gonna fade. But yeah, I love how they came out. Like I love thick brows. A mí me gusta. So turned out this brow was a lot higher than this one. So we had to bring this one up a bunch, and this one is more arched. So we had to play around with it. And so I know they're not identical, but it's very hard to get them identical. It's not gonna happen. But I'm very happy that I have like the fullness in the front, which is what I was very much lacking. And I like that they're a lot fuller. Yeah. So I'm really happy with how they turned out. And I know they look really like, what is it, Bert? Is it Bert from Sesame Street? But it's because my hair is actually black. So you have to use like a darker dye, because what's gonna happen is it's gonna fade. So don't judge based on what's going on right now. But I'm super happy. Okay, so I'm home, so I'm gonna give you guys more of an in-depth kind of, I guess, explanation of like what went down during the microblading, just because it was very difficult to film in there. I didn't bring a tripod, I had forgotten it, and I didn't have anyone with me to help film, and I'll explain why it was difficult to film. So the reason why it was pretty difficult to film is that it was painful. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was painful. I have a very low pain tolerance, I feel like. Everyone I had spoken to said with the numbing cream they didn't feel a thing, but from what I've read, some people are just more sensitive. I didn't feel everything, but I did feel, especially like, because you feel the stroke, and for whatever reason at the end of the stroke, that's where I would feel it the most. So yeah, I was just kind of focusing on getting through it. I didn't think I was gonna get through it, and everyone I've talked to is like so proud of me because I have such a low pain tolerance. I really didn't think it was gonna hurt at all. Because it hurt so much, I don't know that I would do it again. I'm supposed to get a retouch in 2 months. I'm gonna try to bear through that because it's not supposed to be as long, but I don't know if I'll be able to do this again, knowing what I know. You know, like once you've been through something, it's really hard to like, go through it again. So pretty much, I'll kind of like walk through the whole process. So when you get there, first thing is like we put the numbing cream on, because I don't have any like issues with numbing cream or whatever. So put that on so that it can get working. So she left it on for like 45 minutes, which is good. Anyone that like puts it on for 5 minutes and then wants to start chopping at your eyebrows, don't let them. So after that, or while the numbing cream's going, full medical history, anything that would conflict with the microblading. So for example, you've done Accutane, if you, kind of the same things as far as waxing, like Accutane, Retin-A's, recent chemical peels or anything like that. But also other health conditions like do you bleed easily and all of that, just because it could affect the actual microblading and also the healing process afterwards. And then after the eyebrows are numb, clean off all of the numbing agent and then start drawing in the eyebrows, which I did film part of that. So pretty much the same as like if you were to get like your eyebrows done or whatever, like them like measured and all that, marked, and then kind of an outline of what's gonna happen. So then once you lay down and get into like whatever room or place you're gonna get it done, one thing that's very important is making sure that you're seeing a brand new needle. Just like if you were to go get a tattoo or something. She showed me the brand new needle opening from the sterile package and all that. So basically the first needle I believe is the thickest one, and that's gonna kind of really just give the main shape in like hair-like strokes. And then switching to a different needle. So I guess every time the stroke happens, more ink is picked up. I guess kind of like the old school way of doing tattoos, except you're not going like up and down, you're doing strokes. Actually, maybe it wasn't a needle, maybe it was a blade, because it is called microblading. Maybe she misspoke on that, because it definitely didn't feel like a needle. It felt like something like slicing. Yeah, so then you switch to a thinner one, and that's gonna do even lighter like strokes, help like fill in and all of that. Partway through, we stopped. We kind of evaluated, see where we needed to go. Especially it's important to like see from far away and all that. And at the time, this eyebrow was like really like, it looked like an upside down check mark. So I was like, let's fill a little bit more on the top here. Because the thing is, this eyebrow was significantly higher than this one, which we kind of already knew. So this had to be filled a lot to the top, which is why, you know, they had to come out probably thicker than I've ever filled my brows before. But yeah, so then after the strokes or whatever, basically like I guess, I don't know if it's like pigment or dye or whatever, is applied heavily all over the brow. And what that does is that's gonna fill even more of the color into all the little slices. And that's why you see like uneven like coloring and stuff like that, because they remove it as much as possible, but like you've got like clumps of stuff that you can't like touch. It's kind of like tattooing where it's like it flakes off, you know, the coloring and stuff like that as it heals. But yeah, so that helps deposit the color, and that's also why you do a retouch in 2 months, because some of it may not take, and in order for you to have like decent brows for like the year or whatever, you have to kind of retouch it. Again, also very similar to tattoos, like if, you know, you accidentally like rub off one scab before it's too soon and the color doesn't take or whatever. I don't know a lot about tattoos, but that's what I hear. So what it felt like, well, because it's on your face, obviously like anything done to your face, you're likely gonna hear it. It's very auditory, especially this. So the way that it sounded like was, and also felt, is like if you were to like rub a dental pick along a piece of sandpaper. And I think the craziest part was like thinking, wow, that's my skin. It's super bizarre. Like you hear it, the scraping. And then if you're in pain, you're feeling the pain. Like I had to get renumbed several times throughout because I was feeling it, and I was not happy. I don't know, I honestly don't know how I got through it, to be honest. So I didn't realize how much aftercare goes into this, and I probably should have thought this a little more smartly, because I can't wet them for at least a week, which basically means I can't wear makeup, because I could wear makeup, but then how will I wash it off without wetting the brows? It's gonna be kind of difficult. So filming is kind of out of the question. I was gonna go to the gym today, but like sweating a lot is a problem too. Washing my hair, like all of these things, showering, it's gonna be pretty difficult. She gave me some ideas of what to do, but I'm gonna do my best to not like mess with them. So now that I've like had some time to spend with the eyebrows, I'm pretty stressed about them, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not used to seeing myself with such thick eyebrows. I've always admired thick eyebrows. I love how they look on people. I've always wanted them, but I probably should have drawn them in on myself to see how they would look first. Now granted, when you do microblading, and this is kind of why I want to do this video, because a lot of times people just show like, oh, like the after once it's healed and all that stuff. No. If you want to do microblading, you need to know the whole process. You need to be honest with it. Just like a lot of things, like let's say you were gonna go get fillers in your lips, like it's not pretty afterwards. Like, you know, you're gonna be swollen, you might be bruised up, whatever. Yes, once you're healed, you might love it, but you need to know like what's gonna happen immediately after. So because it fades, I've read that it fades like up to 40% after it's healed. So it'll be completely healed in 2 weeks at the most. And because it fades so much, they have to kind of go in heavy and dark. So when it fades, it looks good. So that's one thing to remember. And that's something that I'm really like trying to remind myself, because everyone that I've spoken to that's done it, they're like, don't worry, like they're gonna lighten up and they're gonna like look better. And also like pretty much how I'm looking at myself right now, it's just like my normal like no makeup face. I'm used to my little thin whatever eyebrows. So it just looks off. It looks like if I was decked out with eye makeup and nothing else, and like measly brows and all that, you know what I mean? So it feels like this is actually filled in and like made up and the rest is missing. So I also might be a little like thrown off by that. They're not, like I said, they're not identical. It's very hard to get them identical because, you know, your bone structure can be different. And, you know, my eyebrows were very different to start with. Like, I've had a plastic surgeon tell me that I should get hair implants to change the shape of my eyebrows because that's how different they were. I was like, that's a little extreme, you know? It's a little extreme. So just do me a favor. If you don't like how they came out, don't comment. I really don't care about other people's opinion on it. If you do comment something like really rude or negative, I don't care for it. I will delete your comment and I will block you, because the last thing that I want is like someone to kind of latch on to my insecurity about this process when I'm just being very honest with you guys and showing you. Because honestly, I could be like everybody else and just not show my brows, disappear for 2 weeks, and then come back and be like, yeah. But I want to show you guys the whole process, and don't make me regret that, please, because you will regret it. So then any sort of like unevenness or whatever, patchiness or anything like that, will get resolved in like the retouch. And the retouch is kind of like, the way to describe it is like the first session is kind of like, they call it the fill session, so it's just kind of like giving you the overall shape. And then the retouch is supposed to be like the refine session, where, you know, it's just perfecting what's there, changing, tweaking here and there. So 2 months we'll be able to do that. I'm really nervous because the pain was really bad. It was just, it's hard to describe. It's hard to describe. That's all I can say. Do I regret doing it? I can't really say. Right now it's like shocking, like I said, but I think the day that it's healed and I can just wake up, maybe tweak a little here and there and have decent brows, I think that's gonna be pretty awesome. I mean, I would get eyelash extensions too if there was somewhere near me that did it, because it's just one less thing, you know, it's the convenience. I wouldn't say I regret it, honestly. I'm actually really happy I did it because it's something I've always wanted to do. And I'm so thankful for, you know, Luxe The Colour Lounge for giving me the opportunity to get it done. I really appreciate them, especially because in my area there aren't that many people that do microblading. So I'm very fortunate that my hair salon that I get my hair done and all that, they also do microblading. So yeah, I mean, I'll keep you guys along this process. It's gonna be, you know, a lot of healing. It's supposed to get like scabby like a tattoo. It's gonna be super attractive, I'm sure. But what I'm told is that that week mark, when you can wash him finally, all the scabs come off like beautifully, and it's just like you're a new person. So I'm very excited about that. Also, the cool thing about getting them done is that because it's basically like pigment, you could like pretty much alter the shape, however, if you ever wanted to or needed to, with concealer, because it's like just paint, you know? So I'm not too worried about it. I think they're growing on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this vlog because it's kind of late. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.